this group has been through a lot this year, and there's been a lot of rocky times. But one thing that they've never done is flinch or quit, and that trait served them extremely well here tonight. I mean, when we were down 8, whatever we were in the second half, this group was very vocal in the huddle, and they just keep fighting. They just keep battling. And obviously we're not perfect. We have things we have to continue to get better at, but man, the grit and the perseverance that this group has shown, I'm really proud of them, of how they've grown in that regard. And that trait allows us to compete at a pretty good level when we're not playing maybe exceptionally well in other areas or shooting the ball well in certain spots. But obviously to be able to come in here and play against a good team and find a way to get it done. And that's what this group has done throughout the year. We've been in so many close games that they've obviously are no strangers to that environment. So, like I said, just really proud of them, and I'll let you guys ask these guys questions.
Chucky, after Oregon hit those 3 threes in a row, I mean, it seems like you guys were taking a few more looks from the outside the arc. Did you feel like you needed a few together to, potentially give yourself enough of a cushion where you could hold this one out?
Can you repeat that question?
Did you feel like you had a few threes together at the end after they, sort of put together a few
Yeah, for sure. We just know we need to get stops on defense. We need to just lock in on defense, and we knew that would translate to our offense. So we just need to get good shots on offense, and it'll translate.
Jim? Max, Greg kind of alluded to the tough games you guys have had, the close games you've had. How much do you think that's helping, especially these last 2 games? Just you've been here, done that, and not be able to flinch down the stretch.
Yeah, like you said, there's been a lot of games earlier in the year where it came down to the wire, and some of them went our way, some of them may have not. But I think it just shows the perseverance this group has and the ability to stick together when times may not go your way during the game, and just be one whole group, and then that pays dividends at the end.
Sure.
Chuck, you can just walk us through the final go-ahead 3 there. Oregon was just saying on post-game radio they knew you were getting it, but they nevertheless left you that open. Just were you surprised you were that open, and what were you thinking when you let it go?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. I know they went zone, and I have no idea. They were all just ball watching, and I just found an open spot, and Tyler found me. It was a good pass, and I was not able to knock it down.
Chucky had not been a good shooting night for you at that point, but does that matter?
No, it never matters. And just go on to the next play, miss a shot, it's on to the next play always. So I know my teammates have confidence in me to be able to knock that shot down, and I hit it.
Max, you guys have had a lot of success, the last couple games with Steven sort of playing down low, but he sort of lined up a little bit more, I guess, on the exterior early on in the game. How does that change your offense, and how did that sort of change the looks that you guys are getting?
Well, Oregon had great length around the rim when they brought Ware in from the bench too for Biddle as well. Just a length being there and being able to impact shots around the rim. So that was really the key of, I think, Steve-O playing on the 3-point line, flowing around the perimeter a little bit more than we're used to. But I think that's just a credit to their length and their size they have inside.
What did Jordan Davis give you tonight?
He gave us a lot of energy. I think he poured really his energy into everybody else, and that showed in the stat line with 8 huge rebounds and a big 3 in the first half to help us out. So it's a credit to all the work he puts in and sticking with it. So,
Chucky, they got a lot of open looks from 3, but was that the goal? Did you want them to take a lot of looks from the outside?
Oh, you never want to dork anybody because any good Division I player can knock it down. But we definitely want the ones shooting threes that don't shoot it very well, like a Luke Ward or somebody like that.
Chucky, that's kind of a weird situation at the end where they have so many fouls to give, and you guys are getting trapped and have to get out of that mess. What's the key there? Just poise?
Yeah, for sure. There's poise. Keep the ball strong. Never, just don't throw away. Keep the ball and don't throw away. That's all you have to do. Be strong with it.
Anybody else? All right, thanks, guys. Questions for Coach? This game defy logic in some ways when you look at the box score.
I don't even have to look at the box score, Jim, to defy logic. I mean, it's, you know, it's just been one of those years with like I said, with this team. They just, I think I nicknamed them early in the year Team Drama. I thought, you know, I thought we were a little, I don't want to say intimidated, but we got looking over our shoulder after a few block shots around the rim, and I could tell Tyler was a little hesitant. Obviously, Steve getting some fouls there and got him out of rhythm in the first half. But, you know, we were getting some decent looks. We just had to continue to chip away when we got down 8, and guys made plays. I mean, Chucky's 3, as you mentioned, talked about that, out of the timeout when they went zone. Max's 3 after that. You know, and then the ability to get a stop and you know, be able to expire the clock there at the end, too, was important. But this group is, I don't know, they're awesome to coach. They can be, you know, they can, you know, I had guys that aren't from here. I had a full head of hair when the season started. If you guys are from Eugene or out here, but it's been an awesome group to coach. They've given me everything. You know, they just, like I mentioned earlier, with the perseverance and the grit and the no quit attitude, that's served us well.
What was the strategy with Steven? Were you trying to pull Oregon's bigs out?
To a degree, but no, some of that was just organic, how he got there within the offense. We still want to go to him when we can, but obviously they started doubling too, sending some help and had some traffic there. But, yeah, I mean, just watching Oregon on tape, I knew the length was going to be, you know, something that is a factor, because their 2-point field goal percentage, I think, was 5th in the country, or they're not giving up much around the rim, and that's a large part because of that length there.
Struggle with that a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he got a couple blocked, and I told him at halftime, I said, hey, I coached in a game at Platteville with Bo, and we got 19 shots blocked, but we shot like 37 free throws. So I told him that at halftime. I said, hey, I was in a game where we got 19 shots blocked, and we still won against Stevens Point. 19, I might be making that number up, but it was a lot. It was a lot. And you guys can find the box score back in the day against Stevens Point in the mid-90s. But I just said I wanted to calm them down and just say, hey, it's not that big of a, don't make it a bigger deal than it is. If you got daylight in there, if you got somebody up in the air, go finish it. If you don't, then spray it and try to find somebody else.
Even with that, like, you were still able to rebound Oregon on the offensive end, 14-6. Was it just like finding the right spots, or what do you think?
Yeah, those are hustle plays. I mean, those are hustle plays. I mean, you know, for as rough a time as Tyler was having shooting the ball, to get 5 offensive rebounds, end up with 6 assists. Steve obviously kept stuff alive. So those are opportunities we talk about all the time, that nobody owns the ball when it's in the air. So a lot of that's, you know, just willingness to go get it and work to get position, and that's part of this group's grit and perseverance. That no quit mentality kind of serves them well when they, you know, when we get in desperate times, they keep swinging away.
Forget about, you're not drawing up a play for Chucky that he's going to end up that wide open. I get that. Were you expecting that they would foul or pressure differently, though, that because of their foul situation, that they had so many to give, that by not doing that, they created their own havoc there in the final 15 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, you'd always want to not have to, you know, that means they've guarded pretty well and not fouling prior to that. So I think that's, you know, hindsight's only 20/20 when you look at that. I mean, out of the timeout, we had something else called against man. They went zone. Tyler made a good read. You know, Chucky found an alley, found passing line, and gave him a hand target, and Tyler hit him. And then the next time down, like I said, you know, they executed what we had called next really well, and Max was able to get clean off Steve's screen and knock down another 3. So, I mean, there's and I, you know, taking care of the ball. We didn't do a great job of it. Connor turned it over there when we had a lead. Max went in there once trying to shoot a layup when, unfortunately, we made a hustle play to knock it off them to get it back there with a couple seconds left.
Career days, back-to-back games coming into this one. What did you guys do to make, you know, life difficult for him to score the ball?
Well, I think we see a lot of pretty good bigs in our league, you know, and the physicality we try to play with. You know, ball pressure was one of them. I thought Guerriere. Is it Guerriere? How do you say his last name? Gary. I thought I was really impressed with him in film, and even more so here in person. I thought he was a handful because he's so strong and post him, shoot threes. But I think just who we've seen over the course of the year and the teams we've played, we've seen a lot of good bigs. We got a lot of good bigs in our league. So, playing physical is a part of who we are and what we try to do.
Connor struggled a bit from beyond the arc recently. How much can that really make, do his
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, for him, I've seen him shoot it enough. Just, hey, keep shooting it. If it's good ones, let them fly. And I thought I was going to look like an idiot after he scored twice, and then I took him out. But I thought defensively and, just some things we needed. I thought he looked a little tired there, and then he scores a layup and bangs in a three. So, like I said, the guys just keep picking each other up. Max made huge plays. The kid's a winner. I mean, he just commanding the huddle really was as good as they've been in a huddle maybe all year when we were trailing. So for Connor, he's a freshman going through it for the first time. So this is all great experience for him as well as everybody else.
That's awesome.
Jimmy.
Did you worry about fatigue at all? I know Oregon played on Sunday too, but you're the one traveling.
Yeah, can worry about it. What the hell am I going to do about it? I mean, we didn't practice. I mean, we just did some light shooting and walk through Oregon stuff yesterday. We didn't even do anything. And then, hey, all right, well, now we're going to go shoot free throws and see you on the bus at whatever time we were pulling out for the airport. So, knowing in a one-day turnaround and a 4-hour flight, that there was no sense in trying to do anything yesterday. So now we got a big break. We got a whole week to get ready for the next one. But yeah, I mean, worry about it. Hey, you got to lay it on the line, and the season's over. So these guys definitely did that.
That's what.
There was obviously a long stretch of the regular season into the postseason where you couldn't string wins together. I mean, with these 2 wins in a row going into this one, I mean, is there a noticeable difference with the? Yeah.
Yeah, we're hot.
Well, during the game, I mean, was there a noticeable difference in the morale in terms of just sort of sticking in and not folding?
Yeah, I mean, their morale has never really gotten down, maybe for 24 hours, but they know. I mean, they understand. I think getting to the postseason after we, didn't make the NCAA tournament, I think there was some pressure relieved. I thought I could see it building over the last 4 or 5 weeks when we knew we were right, and we coughed up a few games, we had chances. We were right there, and we couldn't finish a couple out or whatever. I mean, every game has its own story, but I just felt once we got into the Bradley game that I could sense the pressure was, and I talked about it. I said, guys, the pressure's off. Let's go make the most of this. And it's been great for our guys because they needed this. I didn't want to end the year because of what they've committed to us on such a, downer after the Big Ten tournament. This has served its purpose and then some, and got more basketball to play.